It was the kind of afternoon where the good news is all the bad news is not true. The notice arrived pale yellow and full of threats. Pay now or lose access to community services. I read it twice. The address line looked wrong. The signature line looked traced. The stamp bled into the paper like a cheap copy. So I walked the block asking quiet questions. Other neighbors had the same letters, same ink, same shaky signature. The office said records were sealed. The clerk looked away and said a new payment desk handled cash only on weekends. And that's when I first saw the car idle by the clubhouse. The treasurer met a stranger behind the hedges. Envelopes changed hands. Glances darted like sparrows. And that's when I started keeping a notebook. Times, places, numbers like a map of whispers. Another letter came, larger fines, faster deadlines, a threat to place a lien on my home. And as I compared the fonts, the seal, the crooked date, the mistakes lined up like tracks through mud. So the next morning, I filmed the payment desk. A folding table under a patio light. A box for cash, no receipts, no ledger, only a smile and hurry up. I sent copies of my video to neighbors and to the non-emergency line. A detective called back and asked me to keep the camera rolling. That night, the same meeting, the same envelopes, then a quiet step from the shadows. And before I could make out any faces, I heard badges lifted and voices steady. Please keep your hands where we can see them. Neighbors gathered at the curb, eyes wide, questions rising like steam from manhole covers. The box opened, and the cash stacked out in a crooked tower along with a rubber stamp and a sheet of shaky signatures. The detective read the rights. The treasurer stared at the ground. The stranger looked at the sky as if the answer lived up there. They were led to the cruiser, and the porch light finally seemed honest. In the morning, a real notice arrived. An apology, a request for statements, a promise of audits. The street felt lighter, the air tasted clean, and every door opened without fear.